It's very, very shocking and unbelievable. How can America elect a convict as the US 47th president? That's a question I know many people are asking across the globe. How can America, of all the countries, elect a convict as the president? I know it's a very sad turn of reality for the Democrats. At least people thought that Harris would win the popular vote. She has lost the popular vote. She has also lost the college vote. In fact, Trump has given Harris a margin of over 5 million votes when you talk of the popular votes. From that image there, we are seeing Trump has 70,896,762. That's 51%. Harris has 65,835,746. That's 47.4%. So when you talk of the popular vote, Trump has given Harris a margin of over 5 million votes. And you are seeing the college votes there. Trump has so far 276. Harris has 223. To win the US presidential election, you need 270. Trump has passed that mark, and more votes are still coming in. So Trump has won this year's US presidential election, and he has easily won it from these results we are seeing. If you talk of the Senate and the House of Representatives, already Republicans are controlling the Senate. And even from the results we're seeing, the Republicans may also control the House of the Representatives. So this is a landslide win for Donald Trump. He has won the presidency, his party has won the Senate, and his party may also win the House of the Representatives. That's a landslide win. In this video, before we dig deep into this election and what might have happened, because 2 days ago, we did analyze this election where we saw that Harris had a slight chance of winning. But from these results, Donald Trump has easily won. What could have gone wrong? Any keen political observer will tell you of the red mirage. That's what has turned this election in favor of Donald Trump. I'll explain the red mirage as we continue. But let me first make these two quick observations. If you look on how the United States of America has voted in this year's presidential election, it's coming out very clearly to me that America is a patriarchal society, a male society, where some rights are exclusively reserved for men. And one such right is being the president of the United States of America. America does not believe that a woman can be the president. As much as America is talking about equal rights, America is not yet ready for a woman president. That's the truth, ladies and gentlemen. Since America got its independence over 200 years ago, in 1776. Out of all the 47 presidents, including Trump now, America has never elected any woman president. All the way from George Washington, America's first president, to now Donald Trump, America's 47th president, no woman has been elected the president in America. Does it mean that in all these over 200 years, there's never been a woman worth being America's president? The answer is very simple. America is not yet ready for a woman president, and that might take some years to come. In 2016, Hillary Clinton really tried by winning the popular vote, but still she lost the college vote to Donald Trump. America is not yet ready for a female president. In this year's election, Harris was ahead. All of a sudden, she has lost the popular vote and even the college vote. America is a patriarchal society, not ready for a female president. That's the first observation. The second observation, if you look at an ordinary African and then you compare that to an ordinary American, there is nothing unique or special about America. An ordinary American's thinking is just as the same as an ordinary African's thinking. We've seen Africans electing rapists, thieves. The dirtier you are in Africa, the more likely you are to be elected as a leader. From this election in the United States of America, that has also come out very, very clearly. Donald Trump is facing several cases in court. He has been charged on several cases, including even rape. All those are active cases in court. When you talk about climate change, Donald Trump does not believe in climate change. He sees it as just a hoax. You know, sometimes it becomes very difficult to convince an ordinary African that the world is not flat. An ordinary African will tell you the world is flat. That's Donald Trump's view of the climate change. That's the person America has elected as its 47th president. So comparing an ordinary African to an ordinary American, they have the same thinking mentality. Let's now dig deep into the main issue of this year's presidential election in the US. About 2 days ago in this forum, we did analyze this election where we gave Hillary 271, Trump 267. And that analysis was purely based on the early voting results. We looked at the early voting results nationally and the results of early votings in the 7 battleground states. Nationally, Democrats were leading. They had 41 against Republicans 39. At that time, about 80 million Americans had voted. So more Democrats had turned out to vote than the Republicans. And if you look at the 7 battleground states, Trump was leading in 4, while Harris was leading in 3. So I just added the college votes in the battleground states, and then I added them to the normal blue states and the red states. You know, in America, we have the blue states and the red states. So I looked at the battleground states, and I gave Harris the total college votes in the battleground states where she was leading. and gave Trump the total college votes in the battleground states where he was also leading. That's how we arrived at 271 to 267. In fact, looking at the results coming from the battleground states, Trump is likely to win all the 7 battleground states: Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, Michigan, North Carolina, Nevada, Georgia, Arizona. Trump is winning all those battleground states. That can explain why he has easily won this year's presidential election. As I conclude, let me now explain the red mirage that might have contributed to this Trump win. In the United States of America, we have the early voting and the voting on the election day, the actual day. Mostly during the early votings, Democrats are always ahead of the Republicans. And it's believed that Republicans, most of them, do turn out more on the election day. So the red mirage has it that the person winning early voting might not eventually win the final vote. And that is because even in terms of maybe counting of the votes, they normally start with the actual votes on the election day. And in most cases, you might find Republicans ahead. But when the results of the early votings, absentee ballots, are also incorporated, you find the Democrats overtaking the Republicans. But in this year's election, it appears that more Republicans have turned out on the election day. That's why, most definitely, even after tabulation of the absentee ballots, the Republicans, and in this case Donald Trump, is still ahead. That's the red mirage. Yes, that's the red mirage, ladies and gentlemen. I believe that's what must have contributed to this. More Republicans have turned out to vote on the actual day than did the Democrats during the early voting. That's what has happened. Let me conclude by saying this is a very big blow to good governance. I personally believe somebody in the make of Donald Trump was not fit being elected the US president. Donald Trump has some traits we are seeing with these bad African leaders. Donald Trump can either incite or even kill to remain in office. That's the same character traits we are seeing with these bad African leaders. But that's what has happened. America has elected him as the president. We can do nothing to change that. Let's meet in our next analysis. If you are watching us outside Kenya, drop a comment, let us know from which part of the globe you are watching us from. If possible, subscribe, give the video a like. Let's meet in our next analysis. Thank you. God bless you. God bless Kenya.